Here, now, hi. Hi, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been regular streaming. So I hope that this is working. I hope that you can hear me okay. I hope you can hear the music. I would love to know if the music is too loud or if it's loud enough, etc. But I made myself I kind of set a goal. I would like to stream daily while I can. The challenge is the schedule, but right now, at least for a short while, I'm going to be able to stream every day, and it's getting late. So I wanted to get a stream in. So what we're going to talk about is just do a tiny, little, quick, teeny, tiny taste around Spring AI. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you've heard a thing or two about Spring. Simon, I'm always happy to see you. Thank you for the sound check. I really appreciate that. Excellent work. So let's just do a quick, tiny 100, not even, it's like easy. We're gonna start Spring.io. I would go normally to a project catalog that it just hasn't been updated. We'll get there. I'm going to choose Maven. I'm going to use Spring Boot 3.3.1 because it's July. And I'm going to make that works, but we're going to call this like Tiny Taste. Tiny Taste of Spring AI. It doesn't matter, right? It's just names. So we have this. We're going to use Java 22. And then over here, we're going to use Ollama. That's how we're going to bring in our string. We're going to use Spring Web because that's how we're going to create a simple interface on top of it. And we're going to, I always like to have the actuator. And if I'm being honest, I kind of add this by default, and I also do this, but these aren't necessary. These are just kind of like me practicing these are the things that you should be thinking about when you start a project. You want to have an actuator. You want to have these kind of things exposed. While I'm at that, I also want to do this new feature. I'm going to go ahead and give it an SBOM, a software bill of materials. And now I've got a project. This looks like it has the dependencies that I would have if I were taking this to production. Production ready, enterprise ready, Spring. So let's build that. Is there anything else we need? I don't think so. I did this just a little bit ago. I'm going to make sure. I feel like we're in good shape. So let's generate this project because we can. We have a tiny taste of Spring AI. And then let's go over to a terminal. Let's just do this. And then we can go into Tiny Taste and let's open it up. Oh, we're doing something super simple. No big deal. It's just like I want to remind you how easy it is to get started with AI because of Spring AI. Spring AI provides a nice little abstraction layer. In this case, we chose Ollama. Ollama has an API that it uses. Let's go talk about this. Ollama provides an API across multiple LLMs, large language models. We can go look at the models. We have a nice set of options. We can say, what's most popular? Llama3 looks to be popular. So we can do that. I'm going to jump back here and I'm going to show you Docker PS. I have Ollama already running. Oh, it looks like I have PG Vector running. We didn't need that. But I started this up and I've already downloaded the models for Llama3 and Mistral. But to show you like what's happening, let's download one more. I set it up with Docker. So in order to do this, if I want to add another model, I'm going to do it like this. So say, hey, inside of that, well, I already did Llama3. This shouldn't do anything. So yeah, I've already done that. So let's do quick, right? I don't want to be in this. Bye. We already had Llama3 downloaded, so that wasn't a big deal. Let's go pick another one. Let's go pick another. And if you've got an ideas, hey Steve, help me pick a model from this list to chat. I already have Mistral. I already have Llama 3. Which other one should I install? Llama 2? Mistral? Mistral, I think should I do Llama 2 or Mistral? I just want to show you, like, hey, we're pulling in a new model. Help me out. Help me pick one. I'm just going to stand here awkwardly. Otherwise, I need somebody to put it in the chat. Do we want to do Mistral or Llama 2? Llama 2 uncensored. That sounds awful. I don't know. Outstanding reasoning and language understanding capabilities. Phi? I'm not going to pick one. I need one of you to chat and tell me which model I should install into my running Ollama instance. That's just on my laptop. There are no GPUs on this laptop. The other part that I want to hopefully get across is that you don't have to have the fancy GPUs and all that kind of stuff in order to get started with AI. Spring AI makes it easy. Ollama helps, makes it easy. Transparently trained resizes. Steve, help me out. Simon, because I can't do this on my own. I need somebody to pick. Chinese. Fine-tuned versions of Mistral, trained to act as helpful assistants. Maybe that's a good one. This is awkward. I need some help picking one of these models to install in my existing Ollama, because I just stand up a container, but that's not it. So I stood up Ollama, I said I go run. All it does is stand up a container that provides the Ollama API, but there's still no model running. So what I did after that, I went and I said, hey, in that container, in that existing container, I want you to run Llama 3. And then later I said, I want you to run Mistral. But now here for this stream, I want to show you how it downloads a model. The Ollama container knows how to download a model from Ollama's library, but I need you to pick one. Just hang on. I need some help. I'm not going to do Llama 3. Built by Google DeepMind. How about Gemma? Hello, I need your help. I need you to help me just pick one of the models. Pick one of these models that's on the list, because we're going to install it. All right. Well, I already installed Mistral. So I already have Llama 3 installed. I already have Mistral installed. I need one more. I need because I want to show you what it looks like to install. I already had that one installed. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you speaking up. Phi 3. Mistral? MIX? Llama 2? I'm not going to use code. We're going to just keep this straight up chat. So yeah, I need another option. I already have Llama 3 and I already have Mistral. So Gemma or Gwen or Phi 3 or Llama 2, just pick one. It's easy. All the answers are right except for Llama 3 and Mistral. Any other answer is going to be just fine. Mistral, Gwen 2. Let's see which ones have been updated. Newest. So Gemma 2 was updated 2 days ago. I thought that this was going to go a lot different. Gemma 2, DeepSeek Coder V2. The code stuff is really interesting, of course. Gwen 2. This is interesting to me. Gemma 2, thank you so much. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. We're going to go with Gemma 2. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hit this button, and instead of saying Llama 3, I'm going to say Llama 2. And what it's doing, that container is going to go and pull the Llama 2 LLM from their library. It's pulling it down onto my machine. And then I can interface with that model. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Steve. I appreciate that. So now it's there. I can interface it. I can interface with Ollama, with this LLM. I can interface with it just through the regular chat interface that it provides. But there's also an API. In Ollama, we open up this. Ollama exposes its API by default on port 11434. That was silly. I'm gonna rename this. I just like to call it application. Yeah, let's do that. That'll be a little bit easier. So we just renamed that. Again, Steve, thanks. And this application is going to run. It's fine, but we haven't connected it with the LLM, so we've got to do a couple of things. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to change this over to YAML, just so I think it's easier to see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at another project, and I'm going to say, hey, let's configure Ollama, just locally running Ollama. I don't have a GPU. This is what you can do. If you can run Docker, you can do this, but you don't even need Docker. You can download Ollama and run it directly on your machine. But I'm going to configure AI Ollama, and it's got some defaults here. Those are the defaults. It looks for Mistral by default, but we said Llama 2. That's all that I need to do. So when it talks to this locally running API, it's going to ask that Ollama API for Llama 2. That's it. So now we're configured to talk to that model, but we haven't done anything. We haven't talked to it at all yet. So let's just go over here and let's add some stuff. What we're going to do, I have web. We're going to say, hey, I want a controller. Excuse me. I'm going to add a REST controller. Not public. I'm not going to take all of this, although it's done a lot for me, but I don't want to do that. I'm just going to do class chat controller, and inside of that I want to have a chat client. I'll take that, and I want to use the builder to build that chat client, and it's going to look at the properties. It can see what I've got in my Spring Boot dependencies, and it can see that, hey, I've got the properties for Ollama. So that's how it's going to decide how to configure that chat client because of my dependencies. That's how Spring works, that inversion of control. And then I'm just going to create a get mapping at the root of this application. Yeah, let's make a joke. And I'm gonna give it some defaults, but that's just so easy. And all that this did, it filled it in from what I was doing on the other screen. So I'm gonna do this in 2 parts. No, I'm not. I'm gonna do it in 1 part. So this says, tell me a joke about banks. I'm just gonna say, tell me a joke. And I could pass that in. I could pass that in as my prompt. This is the prompt engineering that you talk about or that you hear about. I could pass that in as the user, but I can give it a system prompt. I can say, hey, LLM, I'm going to ask you, or I'm going to allow with my API, I'm going to send you some questions. I'm going to send you some queries, some prompts, but I want you to make sure. I want you to act your mom. Make sure that your answers are kid friendly. Use small words and respond like you are talking to a first grader. We'll say second grader. Second grader. So I'm telling the model, and it can be any model, I'm giving it a system prompt. I'm saying, hey model, when you respond, I want you to respond this way. That's the system prompt. But I'm gonna say, tell me a joke. Actually, maybe I should, what else should I ask? I should, why do I have to go to bed at 8 p.m.? It's not a joke, it's a question. And it's a question. Done. So now, this is what I've done. This is Spring AI, nice and easy. All I said was, I want a chat client, I want a chat interface. I'm gonna encourage you, I'd love your feedback. I want to encourage you to think of the model that we chose. We chose Llama 2. We installed it, it's running locally, hopefully by now. It's running. I could ask it a question here. Right, I have that interface, but I can also close this and it's still gonna be running because it's downloaded into that running container. And I think I'm ready. I think I can start this up and I'm gonna have a lot of really cool capabilities just by doing that. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna open up a terminal. I could easily do it just in my IDE, but I'm gonna do it this way, out of habit a little bit. And I'm gonna say Spring boot run. And this is gonna run, it's gonna say, oh yeah, I see that you're trying to connect to this Ollama database. That's cool, I connected. And oh, by the way, you wanna talk to the Llama 2 model? Sweet. I'm up and running. So now, I can go to, again, that root context over here. Here's my interface to that chat client. I can go localhost 8080. And remember, the default question was, why do I have to go to bed at 8 p.m.? And we told the system, respond, you're a mom. Make sure your answers are kid-friendly, use small words, and respond like you are talking to a second grade child. So this is spinning, because again, I don't have a GPU on this. This is straight CPU. I'll tell you that my Raspberry Pis, they respond about the same. Like there's not really, it's seconds, tens of seconds. Different models, depending on the question, depending on the prompts, different models respond differently, but this is as easy as it can get. This is just like the first time, or it reminds me of the first time I connected my Java app to JDBC, and I was able to query a database. Same situation. I'm standing up an LLM though, instead of a MySQL database. And that's what I'm talking to. So this makes up my queries effectively. That's the metaphor that's in my head. You tell me what you think about that. Where instead of select star from table, I'm saying, hey, why do I have to go to bed at 8 p.m.? Sweet, look at this. So this is the response from the LLM. I said, act like a mom. Sweetheart, bedtime is important because it helps your body rest and grow big and strong. Think of it like this. When you play all day, your toys get tired, right? They need time to recharge so they can be ready for more fun tomorrow. Your body is like your toys. It needs sleep to recharge too. 8 p.m. is when your body starts to get sleepy. So going to bed then helps you have lots of energy for school and playing tomorrow. Done. Done. Like I said, I just wanted to give you a teeny tiny taste of how easy it is to get started with AI. Spring AI makes it easy. This is an easy example. Now the cool thing is, if you've used Spring Data, Spring Data JPA, Spring Data JDBC, you might have realized that for a lot of things, you don't have to change any code. You can be using MySQL, select star from table, And you could switch out the driver, switch out your MySQL driver and plug in Oracle's driver. And you could do the same select star from table and you'll get a response from Oracle just like you did from MySQL. Guess what? It's the same thing right here. So we're gonna make a tiny little change. I'm gonna stop this one. I told you I also have Llama3 and Mistral. So what I'm gonna do here is, because I have already downloaded those other LLMs, I'm gonna just change this one line, this one property. I'm gonna say, this time, let's use Mistral. I remember Mistral, the last example that I ran, it seemed like it went a little faster. But now I'm gonna use a totally different LLM. I'm not changing any other code. I'm just saying talk to a different model inside of this API. What do you think? I mean, I hope it works. It'd be nice if it worked. I'm suggesting that it will work, but we're gonna get a slightly different answer because we're talking to a different model. We're feeding it different information. We're feeding it the same query. So here's our example that we got from Llama2. Now we're up and running. Let's do it again. 8080. This time we're talking to Mistral. We're giving it the same system prompt. It's still gonna take some time. We're giving it the same system prompt, the same user prompt. Why do I have to go to bed at 8 p.m.? And let's see what happens. This is very similar to running, again, a query against select star from table. In MySQL and Oracle, it can look the exact same. Of course, there's unique characteristics about every database. Same goes for these different LLMs. Different LLMs have different strengths. They're trained against different sets of data. They've got different characteristics that they've been trained with. But you can find all that information here. And this is, we're using Ollama to kind of wrap around the different models that we want to interface with. And Ollama provides the API. Spring AI allows us to use that Ollama for one. That's one example. We can use Ollama to interface with their chat LLMs. Oh, let's go back and see if we get an answer. We're here. Boom. Going to bed at 8 p.m. helps us rest and recharge for the next day. Just like how a battery needs to be charged to power our toys, our bodies need sleep to work properly. A good night's sleep makes it easier for us to focus during school, play outside, and have fun with friends. So let's make sure we get enough rest every night. Different model, different tone, different language, even though we fed it the exact same code. I didn't have to change my code to switch between the models. We're gonna do one more try and then that's it. I just wanted to give you a teeny tiny taste. The code is already done. We're gonna stop this one. And I'm just changing it. We did Llama2, we just did Mistral, and now we're gonna do Llama3. Just to show, like, hey, we're doing the same thing. And I'm gonna even do this, just make sure that you see that I'm talking to a different model. We're gonna connect to a different model. We're up and running, and we're gonna do this third, and then that's it. If you've got questions, when you come to my house for dinner, if you leave hungry, that's your fault. Right now, I'm getting ready to do this last example. If you've got questions and you don't ask them, that's your fault. But I will happily take questions. But when this is done, that's all the content. Now I'm gonna end the stream unless you've got questions. So don't leave hungry. If you've got questions, get them asked. We're doing our last example against a different model. This time we're using Llama3. And that's all I wanted to show you. I want to show you how easy it is to use AI. You have tons of models available. Each model has its own characteristics. You can easily switch between these models and find the one that works right for you. And you don't need fancy. We can literally do this on a Raspberry Pi, and I should have done this on a Raspberry Pi. And the Raspberry Pi response is not going to be much longer. I'll tell you that. So this is all we're doing. We're running against Llama3 now. So we ran, this is our Llama2 response. This is our Mistral response. And then this will be our Llama3 response. So We have a question. Does each model have its own dependency in the POM? No, it does not. That is a great question. In the POM file, the only thing I needed to provide was the starter for Ollama. Ollama provides an API around all of the models in its library. So I can just use this Ollama API. Spring knows how to interface with the Ollama API, and Ollama's API provides access to all of the models in their library. So the only dependency I needed was that API, that starter for Ollama, and then the property to decide which model to talk to. So I've got 3 models running in my Ollama container right now. But I could have Ollama, I don't have to do it in Docker. I could have it running on my machine. I don't have to have a GPU. Of course, the GPU will make the responses faster, but there's no other dependencies. The thing that Spring does is it provides that consistent abstraction across the different APIs. Fun fact, if I wanted to switch to a different API, like OpenAI, I would provide just a different set of properties. I would provide the OpenAI starter and the OpenAI properties, like the API key. And then my code still wouldn't have to change. I could use the exact same code. That's that nice abstraction layer that Spring AI provides. And this is just chat. This is just, you want to get started using AI? I don't know how it can get any easier. Oh, we didn't look at our response. Let's go. So this is the Llama3 response. Sweetie, you have to go to bed at 8 p.m. because our bodies need rest. Just like how your favorite toys need batteries. This looks very similar to Gemma, right? Your body needs to sleep to keep going strong. When you're asleep, your body gets to fix any boo-boos it might have, like if you fell down and got a scrape. And it's also when your body grows strong, like how plants grow tall in the sunshine. Plus, when you're well rested, you'll be able to play with your toys, read books, and do all sorts of fun things again tomorrow. And who doesn't love having fun? So let's get cozy in bed at 8 p.m., okay? We can even read a special book together before we sleep. There you go. We provided the exact same query, the same prompts, same user prompt, the same system prompt to 3 different models, so we can find the one that works for us. These are models that are freely available, not just through Ollama, they're available other places as well, but this is how you can get started. And that one guy, thank you so much. That was a really good question. But that's all that I wanted to show. I hope if you've got questions, if you would like to, do more, learn more with Spring AI, I want you to know that I'm here. I'm here to help. My team is here to help. If you would like to explore more, if you've got some ideas on how you would like to move forward. Oh, see this question, we got more. I got another question. Did you find the dependency in Spring Starter? Yes, start.spring.io, start.spring.io. So I can go over here if I want OpenAI. I can use Azure's OpenAI or OpenAI. So those are examples of the different AI APIs that we have. We can talk to Mistral directly. So we have a ton of options. I haven't played with them all. We also have a ton of vector databases that we can use to fill in the missing data. These LLMs are trained at the data stops at a point in time, right? This LLM, any of these LLMs, because the newest one was updated 2 days ago, has no idea the outcome of the Portugal versus Slovenia soccer game today, because it's not there. But if I wanted to feed that information in, if I said, hey, tell me about the soccer game, and use this stats page to fill in any gaps that you have, I can provide that. I would use a vector database to provide that information. And it would provide that embed that data into that prompt, stuff the prompt with the information from today's game, and then give me a response. And I could say respond like a sportscaster from the Midwest, and it would read it back to me. But I can provide these LLMs. I don't have to just stop with the information that they have been trained on. I can provide them additional context. And a vector database is one way to do that. So stay tuned. I hope that you'll come back, smash the like button and all the things, because I'm going to be streaming every single day for the foreseeable future for at least a couple of weeks. And I'm just getting started. It's July. And I hope that you've learned something. Thank you so much for stopping in. Thank you for the great questions. And yeah, tune in, subscribe, come back on whatever channel you're watching, because I promise you that there's going to be more. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again soon.